Thank you.
Hi guys, can you please tell us your name and where are you from?
You first, you're the player.
I'm Daniel Petrie.
I'm Kimberly, and I'm not ranked as any player.
Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
From Queens.
How did you get into the game?
I got into it from my dad. My dad brought me into the sport when I was like 13, 14. I got into it. He's been bringing me around though since I was like born practically. He's always making me come to the courts. I hated handball at first, but I eventually started to like it.
Why you hated it at first?
I just thought it was boring. I'd rather ride a bike or just play other stuff, kid stuff, not really just sit there and hit a ball to a wall. So I just thought it was kind of boring at first, but then after I actually learned how it is, I got big into it.
How did you get into it?
My sister actually. My sister brought me to the park by our house, and I started playing kind of like as a distraction, I guess, from like school and stuff and work. So I've been playing since I was like 21, around there.
I don't know. Do you have any questions?
No. Do you have questions for us?
I want to ask you, would you support making one-wall handball an Olympic sport?
One-wall handball what?
An Olympic sport.
Of course. It's a sport that requires skill and actual training. Nobody can just step on the court and play at the level that he plays at, You actually have to train and get good, and you have to learn the game. It's not just something that you can just be like, all right, I'm gonna play handball. No, you can't do that. I feel like a lot of people look at it and be like, oh, this is easy. It's not easy. It's hard. You have to train. You have to have both arms, fluid movement, and it's a hard sport. Not everybody takes it seriously. So, and then on top of that, it really wears on your body too. Like playing on concrete, your knees, your back, your hips, everything in general. Like a lot of the older players are injured permanently because they dedicated their lives to the sport. And this sport has been around for, I want to say 100 years at this point in New York. So I feel like it's a hard sport. The only problem with making it an Olympic sport is that the whole country does not play it. It's very select towns and cities that play the sport. The majority of people that play in the United States play here, California has one wall, but they have three wall also. Texas plays one wall and three wall. Florida has one wall. I don't know if they have three wall, but I know they have one wall. But yeah.
We're trying to make one wall specifically.
No, I know. There's three walls already, I feel like, more recognized. No, there's more like countrywide tournaments for three wall. But yeah, one wall is hard.
Why you dedicated your life to this sport?
Why? Well, when I was younger, I used to just always want to spend time with my dad. So at first, I just wanted to play and hang out with him. That's why my goal was to just be with him and hang out with him. But then as he brought me to King of the Courts. And I think the first game I saw was Cisco play Gio. And I think my dad was like, look, that's the King of the Court right there, is Gio. And as I'm watching that King of the Court player, Gio, he just lost to Cisco. And I was like, what the hell? I'm just watching all these guys play, and it's just like so competitive. Yeah, it's like, what the hell? It's so competitive. Like, and then you see everyone just fighting with pure emotion. It's like just a lot of girth. Then I see Rookie, he was playing over there too. He was beating down people, and then he ended up winning the whole tournament. And I'm just there like, I want to be like these guys, like the crazy shots they hit, like a whip kill with their left, a spike with their right, like all these crazy stuff. I want to be able to do all of that. So I dedicated myself to being that good so that I could play at that level, that I could be an inspiration for other kids to play this game. That's why when I play, I try to be humble, I try to be quiet. When I lose, I try to just give the guy a high five, I hug him. Like I try to make it so that it looks good for the sport and that people who see me play or whoever it is will want to play and reach that same level, So that's why I really dedicate myself to this sport.
Don, what else can we do for this sport to make it look more professional, as you said?
To make the sport look more professional, I feel like the foundations of handball need to be patched up. I feel like we need to patch up some rules. I feel like we need to get a system where we could get good refs We need to get our players to be more professional. We need tournament hosts to be more professional. I feel like we have a few tournaments that are extremely good. We have a few of them, like the committee tournament, like the U.S. Open was a great one. King of the Courts is a great one. Nationals is the perfect example. Buddha was a perfect example. Like those are great, well-ran tournaments. But then there's a lot of side tournaments that a lot of people go to that aren't so well-ran. Like you got people drinking on the side, smoking, refs not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like I feel like if we solve all those problems, handball would grow a lot more and it would look a lot more professional, and it would bring it would attract sponsors. It would attract other people to get into the sport. They wouldn't be so intimidated to get into the sport because they don't see people drinking and smoking and looking like hoodlums, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's kids that come into the sport. So if we can't get no kids to start playing handball, then we can't keep the sport going in the long run. And parents are the ones that are going to put their kids into sport. And if they see people smoking and drinking at a court, they're like, I don't want to put my kids around this. They're not going to bring them in. So if we fix all those problems, I believe handball will grow a lot more and it can eventually reach an Olympic sport at that level.
Then speaking of kids, like I do have, I think, some viewers that are kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when handball players take off their t-shirt and then they show they're naked, like it's not good for kids, you know what I mean? So
I mean, well, obviously it's not professional to take off your shirt. You know, they don't really do that in any kind of sports. But I don't think that like will not allow the players to play. Like I don't think that will turn off kids, because in every sport you see guys play shirtless, whether it's basketball, tennis, stuff like that. When it's not a professional event, you'll see them do that kind of stuff outside. You know, but like obviously it should never be done during tournaments, and it should be you should keep only the shirt that is given to you by the tournament or what you brought. You shouldn't take it off because it doesn't look right for professional wise, and it doesn't look good for the community.
more arguments, it also could be slippery and that's safety wise also.
What? If you're shirtless?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't think that would affect the court to the point where it would be slippery, but you're more likely to hurt yourself if you're diving and stuff. You don't have anything covering your skin. You'll scrape off your skin. You could burn. You could get like a little burn on the side. Those kinds of things can happen to you.
Are you going to the Irish?
The Irish tournament? No, I won't have to go. I won't be able to. I have to stay home with my baby.
You're gonna be a dad? You're gonna be a dad?
I'm already a dad.
You're already a dad?
Yeah, I have a 7-month-old baby named Hunter.
Oh man, that's a beautiful name. Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name. I have a friend named Hunter.
You have a friend named Hunter?
He's a good player.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And I believe your kid is gonna be a good player too.
Yes, I hope so. I mean, I hope he's just good at whatever he plays, whatever he decides to play. You know, I'm not gonna force him into any sport that he doesn't like. You know, if he likes handball, I'll teach him how to play handball. If he likes basketball, I'll support that. You know, so whatever he does.
Last question is, would you support making this an Olympic sport?
Yeah, I would always support this going to the Olympics. I feel like a lot of people work very, very hard in this sport to reach where they're at, and I feel that it's very unfair that we have sports that are nowhere near as difficult as this one that are in the Olympics. And we have a lot of people who play this sport in New York, Florida, Cali. There's so many people who play this sport here. We have people in Spain playing it, people in Europe playing it, people in Germany. Like it's all over the place. How can it not be already an Olympic sport? You know? So I would love it if this sport could become an Olympics.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He's the A player. You should be interviewing him, not me.
Thank you and congrats on having a Hunter,
Oh, thank you.
baby Hunter.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Stay awesome. Thank you.